Follow Helen Paul and I, Frank Donga. Do you know that Nigeria is the third largest producer of ginger in the world?
Maybe that's why we have this ginger touch. Ginger, oh, ginger.
And time's up! As we uncover the untold stories of food heroes on the front lines.
If I have money, I will maximize this place. I have the capacity to plant 500 hectares a year.
Parasite is the major problem also in farming.
Connecting them to untapped opportunities and the experts who can solve their problems.
You can't plant the same time somebody in Kaduna is planting. You have to follow the NEMIT report to know when the rainfall and the dry season. So that is the challenge.
If tomato touches the water, then it starts rotting. Tomato should not touch the water.
This is Farm and Fortune.
Research shows that in advanced countries, governments subsidize the price of input for farmers, but the reverse is the case in Nigeria.
What is the rice industry worth in Nigeria?
It is worth 1.7 trillion naira.
Who's going to go home with our 500,000 naira worth of farming fields?
Ellen,
Huh?
do you know that white rice is just brown rice? I went to go and freshen.
Of course, every rice comes with a brown outer layer until it's polished. And then you see it looking all white.
Hey, ducky.
Oh, honey.
Dr. Ellen herself.
It's not easy.
You try.
Thank you.
You try for that one. You know,
Okay.
easy. Let me see whether you know this one.
Okay.
What kind of land does rice grow on? Mention one kind of land that rice grows on very well.
Rice grows, of course, on a swampy terrain.
You know that one too?
Look at this. Look at this.
I know that. No. Doctor, not easy now.
It's not easy.
Okay, last question.
Me too, I'll look for a question for you.
Nah, slow down now. What's the scientific name of rice?
Scientific. Rice sativa now. Come. Do you think PhD is easy? PhD is not my.
You try.
It makes me laugh when you
me.
see educational civilian asking questions like they're also there. I don't understand.
Me or them?
You.
No, voila. No problem.
I also have a question for you.
You
I must ask you a question. Let me look for the one who wants to ask any guest and give it to you. Okay, very good. Is rice a legume, cereal, or horizon?
Now, wow. Ordinary small plane now. You don't carry topic, go S02 or Greek. Anyway, rice is a cereal.
Well, you did SSC, so there's no way you won't know it. Because it's such a simple question for young children like you.
Continue. No worry. I know what I'll do.
Any other question?
You don't do. You don't know that this particular grand finale of our season 2 Farm and Fortune, our focus is on rice. You don't know, and I will not tell you, but they will know. I will tell my people at home.
You're making me sad and I don't like it. Hello, everyone. I'm not usually like that. I'm very nice. And of course, my name is Helen Paul.
I'm Frank Donga.
And you're welcome to
Farm and Fortune.
Welcome back. It's still Farm and Fortune. We have a special guest in the house, a leading expert in agriculture, and of course, an experienced processor in the Nigerian rice industry. It's no other person than Mr. Etini Abasi Umoyang. Am I right?
Thank you so much.
Great to have you.
Thank you so much.
You look so good.
Thank you.
A question for you that I've been keeping in mind for a while. What is the rice industry worth in Nigeria?
It is worth 1.7 trillion naira currently.
1.7 trillion.
It's money.
It's a lot of money.
Behind the stage that time, you were saying we have up to about 40,000 type of rice. Is it true?
Varieties of rices.
In Nigeria or worldwide?
Worldwide.
Out of these 40,000, how many is Nigeria producing?
Over 10,000 varieties now.
Wow. So, but is Nigeria planting? Are we doing enough to meet local demand of rice? Are we making enough?
No, we are not. We are not. We are not.
What do we need to do?
You know, the government at some point started addressing some issues by placing the import ban, trying to focus on processing. That is good. Those are steps, but they are not enough. They are in the rice value chain. You have to start from the scratch, which is raising the seedlings, the rice seeds. How do you want to process what you don't have in stock? The value chain goes like you have the right seeds, then the actual farming, processing, storage, then you have the distribution. You have the long grain rice, and it is more polished than our own.
Why can't we polish our own?
Now, polishing is not a measurement for quality.
Okay.
The polishing of rice, the shiny part of the rice, when it shines like that, doesn't mean that the rice is better than the one that is not
because
polished.
sometimes the rice are so beautiful that I don't want to cook them. I just want to keep them in transparent plastic.
Show glass.
You know, why our rice is quite better of quality than the foreign rice is because of that polishing. We don't really polish our own like theirs.
Why?
It means the bran, we still have some part of the bran, layers of the bran, that are laced with vitamin B, thiamine. While they are own, they just polish the rice, allow it to be shiny, while they still get their bran and recycle it in their economy.
Hold up, sir. You are saying
so that means some vitamins would have gone.
They are taking it.
So you are saying polished rice, they've removed much of the vitamin in the bran,
vitamins and the minerals,
the rice.
And even some protein.
So our own rice now still has the bran and the protein on top.
Yes.
Which is better for us.
Yes.
And after they've removed all the problem, all the good things inside, we will now
they now send it to us and we still buy at a higher price.
Please, I have a question. With no import tax or shipping fee, why is the homegrown rice still very expensive?
It is because a typical farmer does not have any help. Government is not assisting much in terms of fertilizer supply. Our farmers, if you say you have given fertilizers to how many farmers? Now, does the government have the database of these farmers to reach out to them on a personal basis? That is how farming is done elsewhere. So if you do not have the database of these farmers and you have given out fertilizers, how are you sure it is not ending up in the hands of other people that will sell them? So the real farmers in the villages end up not having fertilizers, pesticides, or any help at all. For instance, in Thailand, the government helps in irrigation. Every farm has an irrigation system.
Okay.
Land clearing is a big issue too for farmers.
Here?
Yes.
Wow.
Who cares about the farmer?
With all these challenges, is it a viable investment opportunity for anybody that is interested in rice farming in Nigeria?
We have the market demand for rice, about 200 plus million people. You can sell your rice. But the challenge is still there, but it's still very viable. If you want to invest in a rice farm or the processing equipment, you can still go ahead.
So I'm sure if you go online, you will see a lot of government initiatives, plans, programs, announcements by the government at different levels, claiming to be involved with it, especially rice. Because we've seen, or we've heard the government say, agriculture, and most times rice is always coming up in the forefront. With all that, why hasn't the price of rice come to the affordable level for people? It's still, right now, some people still say the price of local rice is almost even more expensive than imported rice. So why?
How much is the price of fertilizer per bag? How much is a pesticide per carton? What is the labor input of the farmer?
Sir, he's asking you a question. The way you're asking him, he doesn't know Boko. Oh yeah. You see how expensive everything is.
Person will not even know rice. So all those inputs make production of local rice
has to go
more expensive.
Yes. And with a high cost of dollar, the rising import cost, it is about to go even higher.
Sir, I want to ask. We are saying foreign rice. There was something I heard from a friend who is into this business. She said that sometimes they package our rice in a foreign bag and call it foreign rice, and we buy it believing that it's foreign.
Yes.
Why?
Because Nigerians, we believe that what comes into the country is better than our own. So it is our perception. We have a mentality problem here in Nigeria. We have to address that. We have to begin to embrace our own product. And by the way, you call Nigerian rice local rice. It doesn't really sound nice. Why not call it Nigerian rice?
Instead of local.
when you place it at local, it stays there as a local product. So it is Nigerian rice. The way I see it, our rice has more value.
Because we leave all the nutrients, everything in it.
Yes.
Let me be the devil's advocate once more time. My dear people, if you go to events, everybody they hustle to eat ofada rice. Ofada rice is not Igbo man's rice.
It's our rice.
It's our people know if abroad people are doing their ofada joints outside the country and people Nigerians rush there. Other Africans rush there. What is it that is making us turn our backs to this local rice? Because I know ofada is enjoying respect. So if we have celebrated ofada like that, why is it difficult to embrace this so-called local or
rice.
Nigerian rice, like you are saying?
Ofada rice has a market now because we have promoted it.
Okay.
If you don't promote your own product, will somebody else promote it for you?
No.
We are the ones selling ofada rice. We are the ones buying.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's moving.
There are, but are they effective? Because if they are effective, they will check the moisture content of this rice that are going to the market. We will avoid all these problems and we will optimize the quality of what we sell.
Some of our rice, do we export them or it just stays within?
We don't know if we export because it is a big deal to export. If you have to export, it has to be standardized. It has to be, before it goes through the ports, it has to be standardized. So if it is export, I don't really know if it is exported. It is not popular.
And we are not even
The one that is popular is the import ban, which we are all facing.
That import ban now, apart from just banning the bringing of rice legally to Nigeria, what else can be done to make sure that the price of rice is at a point where the common man can afford it? Also, to improve the value of this rice.
The real issue here is the price. If you smuggle rice into Nigeria, the price will tell somebody in the south that, look, rice is cheaper at Kano.
Okay.
Many Nigerians don't consider the quality. Many. They consider the price. So if it is cheap, they go for it. If it is cheap, they go for 600 bucks, 1,200 bucks, 5 trucks.
Do you support the ban on the importation of rice? Do you think it's a good idea?
Yes, I personally support the ban.
Why?
Why?
You know, if you don't ban importation, processors are out of business.
But what happens to the demand and supply? I mean, there's a reason why it's highly demanded. It's a staple in Nigeria. And if we're not meeting local demand by producing locally, and you ban without being sure that we can meet demand, would that create scarcity? Because then demand will improve beyond supply.
Yes, the government is doing a lot to encourage farmers and more farmers
to
go into planting of paddy. So that they can be enough. And in many states of the Federation now, many young men and women are encouraged to go into farming so that it can be sufficient. So there are strides that the government is making, and private firms are also encouraging this by supporting with some inputs and assisting the farmers, teaching them on good agricultural practices to help optimize the production.
Rice is a staple in Nigeria, but is our taste and preference and demand for imported rice versus local rice creating a demand gap? Let's take a look. We'll be right back.
Rice is one of the most consumed staples in Nigeria. In 2019, when the government of Nigeria restricted rice importation into the country, local farmers initially applauded this policy. Today, the local rice production has increased by 77.8% and is valued at $4.05 billion. Yet, according to data by Index Mundi, a global trade portal on import and export, in 2020 alone, a total of 1.56 million tons of the grain, valued at 350 billion naira, approximately $780 million were smuggled through Nigeria's neighboring ports. However, it is gathered that the country is still facing 2 million tons deficit of the grain as local consumption has reached 7 million tons. Nigerians, especially industry watchers, traders, consumers, and stakeholders in the rice value chain are worried that the breakthrough in local rice production still does not reflect the current price and quality of the commodity. Several factors contributing to the rising price of the commodity include increase in the price of input as high as 200% more and the stockpiling of local rice to create artificial scarcity. Research shows that in advanced countries, governments subsidize the price of input for farmers, but the reverse is the case in Nigeria as farmers get input at market price. Issues of the high cost of transportation, cost of fuel, irregular power supply, and others affect the price of rice. The ban has generally been deemed a step in the right direction, but today, the farmers also recognize that there is neither the manpower nor machinery for the level of production needed to meet the rice demand. Although production has increased, the local farmers, without the capacity to produce rice almost as fine in quality as the imported foreign rice, are running at a loss. In between insecurity, production costs, funding, and competition with illegally imported foreign rice, rice farmers in Nigeria are having a hard time reaping the rewards of all their hard work. An even bigger problem is revealed in the Nigerian rice ecosystem. Farmers believe consumers prefer foreign rice. Farmers reveal that middlemen produce foreign bags and purchase high-quality, finely milled local rice, passing them off as foreign to sell at higher prices. Despite an overall improvement, Nigeria's rice statistics suggest there is an enormous potential to further increase productivity. Gaps in mechanization also provide numerous opportunities for investment.
Hey, mentality problem. Sir, this mentality that we all have, that anything foreign is better. Our local rice is even good. So what do you think is the problem? When do we start accepting this our own local rights?
The thing there is just our perception.
Okay.
When it is coming into Nigeria, that is the one people will rush. It is not right. In putting the foreign rice and our Nigerian rice, I said I don't like calling it local rice.
Okay.
Because it is still local in their own country. It is when it comes in that it becomes foreign here. It is just the polishing. That shiny, long grain rice that you see. Doesn't make it better than our own rice.
You also talked about people putting our rice into a bag and yet we buy it.
Because we like buying foreign things. We are known for sharp practices. So many distributors end up turning our rice into foreign bags.
Once we see that foreign bag, we believe it's foreign.
You buy, you rush and buy. You don't even know the content.
We are confident that if we follow the right pre-planting and post-harvesting practices, that our rice can be as good as any rice imported from maybe places like Thailand that you mentioned.
Yes, our rice is actually very good. We have the arable land.
So what's the greatest challenge you are facing? What's the biggest problem that the rice value chain that you are facing?
The most prominent problem, number one, is the infrastructure.
Infrastructure?
Infrastructure. It's critical to rice processing and production. Many of the villages don't have the access road after planting to bring it out.
Roads,
yes,
good roads to bring rice to the city.
I mean, you need to go into one of those villages and see the road. You can't drive your car inside. And now there are no water controls, waterways that would direct the water out of those farms.
When it's time.
Yes. So that is why it has the bad aroma.
Okay.
If it's submerged in water, I mean the aroma cannot be the same.
Wow.
So the infrastructure facilities, they are not there. The storage facilities,
Not there.
when the farmers have planted, over time, they want to harvest it, there's no place to store it.
Wow.
They end up harvesting it and storing still where you have some water. The fertilizer input, these things are major drawbacks.
Is it that the fertilizer is not getting to the farmers on time, or that it is expensive? So that we'll know, let's know this problem now. You are in the value chain.
Both the fertilizer going to the farmer at the right time is very important. If you don't add your fertilizer at the right time, you cannot have the growth when others are harvesting. Some of those rice may be stunted. It will not grow like others. The price of fertilizers is a challenge too.
How can investors help to tackle some of these challenges we have?
Rice is capital intensive. Rice farming is capital intensive. From the seedling, look at what Cross River State government has done in terms of raising rice seedling.
Okay.
It is beautiful. If we have 15 states in Nigeria
doing that,
copying that, we will have enough seeds. We have the seeds, and then these private individuals will now pump in funds to the farmers, educating them, helping them to go to the farm on time, harvesting on time, off-taking on time. Because the farmer can only be encouraged if he plants and you off-take on time. Give him the money. Let him see the profit, the result of the hard work and the suffering he's putting into the farm.
Thank you very much. Because I've learned so much. Rice. Hey,
and there's money to be made, though.
There's money to be made. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Etsini. We are glad. All right, I can't believe we've gotten to the end right now. My goodness. Are you enjoying yourself? Of course, yes, you are. The next segment, we want to teach you how to handle your own raw rice by yourself. And when you learn to do things yourself, life will be made easier. Let's go. We'll be right back. It's still Farm and Fortune.
Welcome to the Farm and Fortune DIY hack. Weevils are the worst enemies to your grains in your storage. Here are some ways to get rid of them from your rice. Freeze to kill. Put infested rice in the freezer for at least 4 hours. Bay leaves. Put some bay leaves inside the bag of rice to chase the weevils. Neem leaves, also known as dogoyaro leaves, can also be put in the rice storage container. Cloves. Sprinkle cloves around your storage area and put some in the rice container. Cloves are sometimes called zobo pepper. Always remember to store rice in an airtight container. It's been a delight bringing you tips and projects to do yourself all season. If you missed any hack from this season, you can still view them at Farm and Fortune on YouTube. Stay busy. Bye-bye.
It's still Farm and Fortune. And of course, we have an expert in the house, a soil expert. And you know what? This is the last episode of this season. Talking about soil experts, we have no other person than Mr. Babajide Ahmed. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm fine, very well.
All right, you see, we see that traditionally rice is grown in a swampy and munchy area. What variants can grow on a dry land?
Thank you very much. Basically, two types of rice are grown.
Okay.
These are the upland rice and the lowland rice.
Okay.
The upland rice are rice that are grown on a refilled condition, while the lowland rice are rice that are grown under irrigation scheme, a flooded plain, and a deep floody area.
Floody area.
Yes.
Thank you so
The type of variant that can grow on the dry land are Faro 44,
Okay.
Faro 45,
Okay.
Faro 55, Faro 56,
Okay.
just to mention a few.
Thank you very much. You've given us the information now, so we know what land, what soil can grow rice. So looking at the secrets of the soil.
Okay. Now, the secrets of the soil from Pampeda in Kaduna State.
Pampeda. Great.
Yes. The crop grown here is rice.
Rice.
Let's look at the fertility status.
Okay.
Here we can see that the primary macronutrient element, which are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are low. If you look at the micronutrient element, boron is very low, while copper is low. Having looked at the fertility status, what are the recommendations that best improve this soil? Now, the farmer are encouraged to apply NPK 15-15-15.
Okay.
Which is at the rate of 320 kg per hectare.
Okay.
Equivalent to 6.4 bags, which should be applied at planting.
Great.
In order to supplement the nitrogen in the soil, the farmer are encouraged to apply 100 kg of urea, which is equivalent to 2 bags. This should be applied at 4 weeks after transplant.
Good.
In addition, the farmer are encouraged to apply urea again at 110 kg per hectare, which is equivalent to 2.2 bags. This should be applied at 6 weeks after transplanting. With this recommendation, the yield of the farmer is going to increase substantially.
Wow, I love the recommendations. Thank you so much. And of course, that is from the experts, and he has given us ways to go about maintaining, keeping our rice farm going. All right now is game segment. We have come to the final. Who is going to be the winner of the game? Which of the farmer? Hey, goodness. Let's go and enjoy the game. Learn, of course, with Frank Dongan.
In this game, our contestants have 20 seconds to roll these wheels containing onions across to the finish line. 20 seconds. Each onion in the wheel carries 5 points. Whoever has the most onions across the finish line gets those points. Our contestants are ready. All right, let's go. Your time starts now. All right, so our contestants have rolled the wheels across to the finish line. It's now time to check how many onions they were able to successfully roll across to the finish line. And from the look of things, full points for each contestant because neither of them dropped any onion. All right, contestants, we now move on to the second game. Right now, it's game time, and our contestants that have made it this far to the grand finale, Abiodun Okonye and Hafiz Aziz, are going to compete by throwing their darts to hit the causes or the preventive measures of climate change. Now, this is the trick. You both have 5 darts each. Each carries 10 points. If you hit the prevention for climate change, if you hit the causes of climate change, then you don't get any points. Are you ready? Okay. Let's flip the coin and check. So you go first. Congratulations. Let's go. 2, 3, 4. Oops. And that's a miss. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to need VAR for this segment. Bros, you just kept hitting on the mark. Make up your mind. Are you going to promote climate change or are you going to reduce it? All right, we'll be right back for the last game in this grand finale to see who's going to win that 500,000 naira worth of farm inputs. Is it the gentleman in orange or Team Green? We'll be back. And it's the third game in the series to determine who's going to go home with our 500,000 naira worth of farm inputs on Farm&Fortune, and it's grand finale time. Our farmers, 16 of them, went through different knockout stages to get here. So, guys, are you ready? The stakes are high, but the questions are very simple. Yes. Hey, you ready? Yeah. Okay, but you know how we do it on the game? I'm going to ask you 10 questions. The first person to press the bell gets the chance to answer the questions. If you get it wrong, you get your points. And if you don't, it automatically goes to the second person to answer. We'll go on and on like that until the very end of the 10 questions. Are you ready? Question 1. The root system of rice is A. Taproot system, B. Fibrous root system, C. Shallow root, and D. Deep root.
Shallow root.
Course is the wrong answer. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Taproot.
And taproot is the wrong answer. White eye of rice is due to the deficiency of what? A. Calcium, B. Phosphorus, C. Iron, and D. Magnesium. Yes?
Calcium.
And that, my friend, is the wrong answer. Thank you very much. Over to you, Okoye.
Iron.
And iron is the right answer. Thank you very much. Number 3 question. Lodging in maize is due to what? A. Excess sunlight, B. Excess nutrients, C. Excess water, and D. Excess weeds.
Excess nutrients.
Wrong answer. Thank you very much. Over to you. Thank you. And question number 4. The male inflorescence in maize is known as what?
Silk.
Sorry?
Silk.
Wrong answer. And over to you.
Stigma.
We have another wrong answer. Thank you very much. Which of the following conserves moisture in ginger cultivation?
Breeding.
You said? My man got the answer wrong. Question number 6. The red color in tomato is due to what?
Lycopene.
Sorry?
Lycopene.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, that is the right answer. Congratulations. Moving on. What is the scientific name of tomato?
Bisha.
Solenum lycopersicum. That is the right answer. Congratulations. Question number 8. Which of these is the highest rice producing state in Nigeria? A. Kano State, B. Taraba State, C. Kebbi State, or D. Ogun State? And Kebbi State is the highest rice producing state in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Rice blast is a disease caused by whitefly, fungus, virus, or bacteria. Yes? Fungus. Is the right answer. Congratulations. Now the last question. Are you ready? Question number 10. Another name for rice field is what? Go! Yes. Right, last question. And he's right. Congratulations. And that we have come to the end of the 3rd game in the grand finale on Farm and Fortune Game Time to see who wins the 500,000 naira worth of farm input. Let's put all the results together now and see if it is Abiodun Okonye or Said Hafiz. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Game Time on Farm and Fortune Season 2, where 16 farmers battled head-to-head, trying to get through the knockout stages onto the grand finale. This is the grand finale, and we were down to 2 contestants, Saheed Hafiz and Abiodun Okonye. They went against each other, even though they were former teammates, and at the end of the 3 games, we have 1 winner. In the first game, it was a tie. They both scored 50 points. The second game, Saheed Hafiz scored 40 points, while Abiodun Okonye had 20 points. And in the 3rd game, they both had 15 points each. And the grand total, we have a winner. And the winner is, drum roll, Saheed Hafiz.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah. Congrats. Thank. Nice.
Good sportsmanship.
Congrats.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well
On
done,
behalf
well
of
done.
myself,
Thank
the
you.
Farm and Fortune,
Yes.
my co-host, present this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's
I
look at
really
it.
appreciate it.
Photo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, so we've come to the end of this season, this episode, and we're really glad. Such a great ride. But you know what? You can still catch Farm and Fortune anytime, any day on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe at Farm and Fortune.
I've also learned a lot on Farm and Fortune Season 2, and I've made life-changing decisions. I'm sure you have too. All right? Like you said, like and subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Until another time, I'm Frank Donga.
I'm Helen Paul. See you next time.